Raghu wants to find the area of a rectangular box. He took a square grid paper and drew the outline of the box as shown in the picture. What is the area of the box?
Sharp thinking. 15 squares is the right choice. The area of each square on the chessboard is 8 cm. What is the difference in the area of board and the area of black-colored squares?
Great job. 256 cm is the accurate answer.
The outline of a ribbon is drawn on a square grid paper. If one square on the grid paper has 1 cm area, then the area of the ribbon is perfect. 14 cm is the correct choice. The given figure is made up of equal small squares. What is the area of each small square if the area of whole figure is 110 cm? Well reasoned. 10 cm is the correct choice.
A length of a side of rectangle is 10 cm, and a width of a side of rectangle is 5 cm. What is the area of this rectangle?
Smart pick. 50 cm is the correct choice. The side of a square is 4 cm. How many times does the area increase if the side of the square is doubled? Good thinking. 4 times is the right answer.
Following are the outlines of the dish, box, pot and notebook. Find the object with the largest area.
Nicely done. Notebook is a solid answer.
A figure is drawn on a piece of squared paper. What is the length of the border of this figure?
You chose 20 cm, and it is correct.
The length of a side of a square is 6 cm. What is the perimeter of the square?
You're right. 24 cm is the correct answer.
How would you find the area of the pink model?
Right again. Multiply 4 by 3 is a valid answer. Here is a square, side equal to x cm, and a rectangle with length equal to 6 cm and breadth equal to 2 cm. They have the same perimeter. Find the length of the side of the square. Clear logic. Your choice 4 cm is sound and 100% true. What is the area of shape that drawn inside the square grid?
Bravo! 8 cm is the answer.
What is the perimeter of this figure?
Correct. 20 cm is the right answer.
How many squares are there in the red triangle? Nice selection. 10 is the correct and valid answer. Ashley wants to use ribbon to put a border around her picture. The picture is 6 inches long and 4 inches wide. How much border will she need? Exactly. 20 inches makes sense and it is right choice. What is the area of this rectangle? Good job. Your answer 35 works well here.
Which triangle has more area than the other?
Well picked. Both have same area is the correct answer. What is the total volume of the figure?
Smart move. 32 cubic units is an accurate answer.
This is a floor pattern made up of. Excellent. Square is a brilliant choice. Which stamp has smallest perimeter? Correct response. I is the most accurate answer. Perimeter of this shape is dash.
Strong choice. 15 cm is the right answer.
Area of the blue portion will be on track. 6 cm is the correct answer.
A length of a side of rectangle is 10 cm and a width of a side of rectangle is 5 cm. What is the area of this rectangle?
Great thinking. 50 cm is the right choice. Measure the side of the square on the dotted sheet. Draw here as many rectangles as possible using 12 such squares. Well done. 6 rectangles is the right choice. If a square has a side length of 5 unit squares, how many unit squares are there in total inside the square? Excellent choice. 25 is the right answer. Choose the correct option. The area of a rectangle is 160 cm and its length is 16 cm. Find the breadth. Nice work. You chose 10 cmers and it is correct.
There are 10 kg 600 rice in a box. We put other 4 kg 1400 rice in the box. How many kg of rice in the box?
Right choice. 15 kg is the best answer. The number of squares covered by a shape on a grid paper is called its. You got it. Your choice area is right. For a rectangular swimming pool, length equal to 10 m and breadth equal to 8 m. Find the area of the swimming pool. Valid point, 80 SQ. M is true. Find the perimeter of a rectangle whose length and breadth are 10 cm and 12 cm, respectively. Solid response. 44 cm is a valid choice.
A perimeter of a rectangle is 20 meters. The width is 4 meters. What would the length be?
Nice work. You chose 6 m and it is correct.
Monu has 5 kg sugar in a box. If he uses 1 kg TT50 gmin of sugar, then how much sugar left?
You got it. Your choice 3 kg 750 g is right.
Anshu wants to find the perimeter of his triangle toy, where each side is 12 cm.
You chose 36 cm and it is correct.
The length of a side of a square is 6 cm. What is the perimeter of the square?
You're right. 24 cmers is the correct answer.
If length of a rectangle is 8 cm and breadth is 6 cm, then perimeter will be.
Nicely done. 28 cm is a solid answer.
If any rectangle has 2 cm length and 1 cm breadth, find out perimeter and area.
Right again. 6 cm 2 square cm is a valid answer.
What is the area of a rectangle whose length is 13 cm and breadth is 4 cm?
Smart move. 52 cm is an accurate answer. The region enclosed by the boundaries of a closed figure is called dash. Smart pick. Area is the correct choice. Find perimeter of a rectangle whose length is 13 cm and breadth is 1 cm.
Well picked. 50 cm is the correct answer.
What is the perimeter of a rectangle of length 2 cm and breadth 3 cm? Well reasoned. 10 cm is the correct choice. Find the area of a rectangle with a length equal to 15 cm and breadth equal to 9 cm.
Perfect. 135 cm is the correct choice.
What is the perimeter of a square room when one side measures 10 r?
Nice selection. 40 cmers is the correct and valid answer. If the cost of 2m cloth is as 250, then find the cost of 1 cloth. Sharp thinking. RS125 is the right choice. A square field has a side equal to 2.5 mm. What is the area of the field? Good job. Your answer 6.25 SEQM works well here. Find the area of a triangle with a base equal to 5 cm and height equal to 8 cm.
Valid point 20 SQ is true.
If each side of a square is 3 cm, then its perimeter will be.
On track. 12 cm is the correct answer.
What is the perimeter of a shape with sides 4 cm, 6 cm, 9 cm?
Great thinking. 19 cm is the right choice.
A square with 1 cm length will have an area of dash qsem.
Clear logic. Your choice once QCM is sound and 100% true. Total length of the boundary of any shape is called dash. Exactly. Perimeter makes sense, and it is right choice.
The amount of surface enclosed by a shape is called its.
Excellent choice. Area is the right answer. Fill in the blanks. Breadth of a rectangle equal to area dash. Great job. Length is the accurate answer.
Which animal's footprint will have the smallest area?
Excellent. Ant is a brilliant choice.
Area of a square with side 2m is a dash square meters.
Strong choice. 4 is the right answer.
A space occupied by any 2D object is called its dash.
Good thinking. Area is the right answer.
Which of the followings is not a unit of perimeter?
Well done. SQCM is the right choice.
Area of an object is always measured in dash units.
Correct response. Square units is the most accurate answer.
The perimeter of the square of side 6 cm is dash.
Bravo, 24 cm is the answer.
Can we measure the perimeter of an open shape?
Right choice. No is the best answer.
Find the area of a square whose side is 10 cm.
Solid response. 100 square cm is a valid choice.
Perimeter of square of side 3 cm is equal to.
Correct. B 12 cm is the right answer.
The distance around an object is called the.
Right choice. Perimeter is the best answer.
The space inside an object is called its.
Clear logic. Your choice area is sound and 100% true.
Area of a square of side 2 cm is equal to.
Smart pick. B4 square cm is the correct choice.
Perimeter of square whose side is 10 cm.
Correct. 40 cm is the right answer. Length of a boundary is called as dash. You got it. Your choice perimeter is right.
Space occupied by a figure is called.
Bravo. Area is the answer. Sum of all sides of figure is called. Great thinking. Perimeter is the right choice. Length of the boundary is called. On track. Perimeter is the correct answer.
The unit of perimeter is dash.
Excellent. All of these is a brilliant choice.
Perimeter of rectangle equal to.
You chose 2, and it is correct. The unit of area is dash. Excellent choice. SQ is the right answer. We measure water in dash. Solid response. Lighter is a valid choice. How many grams in 1 kg? Perfect. 1000 mm is the correct choice.
Distance time equal to dash.
Good thinking. Speed is the right answer.
1 day equal to dash minutes.
Well done. 1440 is the right choice.
Area of a rectangle equal to.
Strong choice. Lox B is the right answer.
Area of a square equal to.
Nice work. You chose side x side, and it is correct. x100 equal to dash?
Exactly. 547 to 500 makes sense and it is right choice. X866 equal.
Right again. 876,000 is a valid answer.
How you will get all these quiz questions in PDF books format?
Great job. Contact Narayan Changda on Facebook is the accurate answer.